Can we talk for a second? I just want to talk to you about something that it kind of concerns me, but I mind my business. I've always been a person to mind their business, all right? And don't get it twisted. But I want you to comment down below after I finish saying what I need to say, okay? Because I welcome your opinions. Just be respectful. I understand. I see a lot of young people. Well, I see a lot of young people who don't stand up for the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance. And they say, that's not my flag. I understand that. I understand your feelings. And I respect your feelings. However, let me tell you something that for those of you that were with that player, Colin Kaepernick, whatever his name is, and you want to kneel during the flag, in the presence of a flag. Well, let me just give you a little history. And not only that, let me just educate you. And I'm not speaking to the ones that know, okay? When it comes to they don't want to stand, they don't want to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. You see that influencer, the social media influencer, who was spreading all kind of propaganda, taunting ICE, law enforcement and everything, giving out their locations, telling illegal immigrants what to do, harass them and so forth. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Well, they got her. They have her. And I'm gonna tell you, speaking of that, I've experienced people who are they're foreigners, but they're down for America. They're down for the U.S. when it suits them. But they're always talking about their home country and this and that and blah 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 blah. But you don't want no parts of your home country. But when it benefits you, then you want to be up in the U.S. business. Well, let me tell you something. No, let me tell you something about those that refuse to do the Pledge of Allegiance or to kneel at the flag in a disrespectful manner because you may not believe in what this country stands for or whatever. But I will tell you this. If you are in any government office, are you in any political party, if you are in a non-profit, it doesn't matter. Those type entities, before every meeting, there is a Pledge of Allegiance. There is a Pledge of Allegiance. Now, I don't know about any of you, but let me know about, let me know in the comments. Raise your hand. Put a hand, in the comments down below. If you were raised up, I know in elementary school, we were taught about the United States flag, the U.S. flag. We were taught that in elementary school because what was the first thing we did was, before we even started class, was you will recite the Pledge of Allegiance, and then you're going into, did we go into My Country 'Tis of Thee, or you're going into a song as well. So, and that was in elementary school. So we were taught at a very young age, And not only that, let me talk to my military people. When you know, you know. I'm not talking about anybody that went to boot camp and didn't graduate. I'm not talking about nobody that went to boot camp, graduated, and was in the fleet for a couple of years. I'm talking to seasoned military folks, active duty veterans, and veterans alike. Let me just talk to you for a second. I want your opinion, okay? In the military, I don't know about the Army, the Navy, the Coast Guard, or anything like that. But in the United States Marine Corps, that flag is everything. We are taught to respect that flag. Why are we taught to respect that flag? Because we are taught to salute all standards and colors, not case. That means if that flag is, whether it's flying, whether it's cased, in a shadow box or whatever, whether it's cased, you salute that flag. All right? You're not honoring everybody. You are honoring that person. That you are honoring. Let me say this. We are taught in the United States Marine Corps, so much revolves around the flag. We are taught to salute all standards and colors not cased. Okay? We have taps. We have colors. We have dignitaries. But most of all, we have dignitaries. We have parades. We have things that flag is there. Okay? And let me tell you this. Most of all, we have that flag for burials. For burials. So, you mean to tell me that for all of you all that want to kneel when it comes to the flag, or for all of you all that want to not recite the Pledge of Allegiance and so forth, so you're going to tell me when your loved one who has served honorably in the military, when when that flag is draped on that couch, when that flag is draped across that casket, that you are not going to pay honor to it, you are not going to salute it, you are not going to pay honor to it, you're not going to respect it. So that means that you are not going to, you didn't respect or honor the person that is in that casket where that flag is draped upon. All right? So you mean to tell me when you get to the cemetery and your loved one, your loved one, that flag is getting folded and it's being presented to you, that you are not going to honor it, right? You say you don't want it. Why don't you just tell them you don't want it? You don't want that now. Better off, more so than that, if you have that much disdain for the United States of America, or you have that much disdain for the flag, then why are you here? Why don't you tell them that you don't want your loved one to have a military funeral, and we can do away with that? You understand? So you telling me when that flag is presented to you, because your loved one served in the military, when that flag is presented to you during the time of a funeral, that you don't want to accept it because you don't have no respect for it, right? Those of you all who say it's not your flag, the African flag is not your flag either. Have you been over there? Have you lived over there? Have you lived over there? If America is so bad, why are you here? Why are you here? You shouldn't go to places that you don't feel welcomed at. You know, if you don't have respect for the flag, I don't know how that bad. I don't know how that bad bandwagon happened anyway. As far as birds of a feather flock together. I guess with Colin kneeling for the flag. To me, it's very, very disrespectful. And last thing I want to say about it. And the last thing I want to say about it is, if you think it's so hard, it's so hard. I'm going to tell you, I remember the first time I went overseas. The first time I went overseas when I was in the Marine Corps and I went to Okinawa, Japan. I love Okinawa, Japan. But I also remember when I went to Hawaii. You see my face? All right. Okinawa, Japan has some of the most humble, their culture is so humble, and they take care of their elderly, they take care of their little ones, the children, and they believe in education and health and so forth. I mean, they take care of their seniors. You understand? We can learn a lot from Okinawa, the people in Okinawa, Japan. Their lifestyle, their culture, right? But let me tell you something. A lot of people, when I was in the military, they would say they would kiss the ground. They can't wait to kiss the ground when they get off that plane and get to the States. I could not wait to kiss the ground when I came from Hawaii, I could not wait to get to the mainland here. Y'all keep thinking that they want you over there. All right. So, if it's so hard for you, if you want to kneel, if you don't have any respect for the flag or what it stands for, watch. Let me give you a few movies to check out. Because my point about saying, I was away, my point of talking about being abroad, you don't know how much you miss the US of A until you're in another country. I'm telling you, until you're in another country. And speaking of that, let me give you a few movies to watch. Broke Down Palace. Broke Down Palace is a movie that I used to show during one of my classes when I was a criminal justice professor. Broke Down Palace. It's about two friends. They get locked up in Thailand. Two women. Y'all go and check that out. And by the way, speaking of friends, whew, I hope you all have good friends. Also, along with Broke Down Palace, check out Midnight Express. Remember Midnight Express? The man who was locked up because of this as well in Turkey. And he had to get on that train, catch that train, the Midnight Express train. His family had to break him out of prison over in Turkey. Y'all go ahead and watch that movie and tell me how you feel. Also, another movie is, I said Midnight Express was in they were getting in their car. So let me go over the movies again. So y'all go ahead and check out Broke Down Palace, Midnight Express, and what's that other one? Argo, A-R-G-O, and Left. And also for y'all old heads like me that was around during the late 70s, maybe like 1979 to be exact. Y'all remember the raid on Entebbe? Y'all remember when yeah, it's not funny. Y'all remember when they folks were held hostage, right? And they said, "Oh, y'all black folks,